video.
Goes into the crop hang now. See that very high angle of attack, massively elevated deflection, just balancing the weight of the aircraft now vertical. Full-size aircraft cannot do this. Smoke on and climbs away from that. This is one you don't try at home, kids. Years of practice and skills and the right aeroplane, totally essential. A maneuver called a blender. Fast rolls, pushing him down elevator into inverted, and I'm just going to send Mike off on his mission to do the right hand side of the line now. Now, just balancing the aircraft, and here it comes down, it's a state car now, look over to the right hand side of the flight box, just to the right of the flight box, you can see it descending, here it comes, just holding it, whoops, a little bit hiccup there. Never seen this before. Very, very difficult. You see the amount of elevator Steve's now got in on that aeroplane. This is incredible. Aeroplanes don't do this. This one does. This is Steve Carr. And yes, he makes it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. What a pilot. With this very unusual aeroplane, a Russian design, this is the Yak 130. The latest in the line of Russian fighter jets, Yak, short for Yakolev, and if you look at this aircraft, it's all covered in various Cyrillic words, none of which I can read. But it looks different and it really is spectacular. I've seen it fly before and it does look good and it has a very unusual profile to it. Russian aircraft, you could never say they're pretty, but they're always very aggressive and always look meaningful. They present very well as a model. Two big missiles on the wingtips. I'm sure, like Mark, James is going to put together a very controlled flight with this aeroplane. Unlimited aerobatic model with the three-door engine. Now we do a series of torque rolls, hovering the engine, hanging it on the propeller. I can't get quite far enough out to talk to Steve during this flight, but I'll try and describe the maneuvers as I remember them from yesterday. So climbing up now, gaining altitude, and this will be the start of what he terms the blender. So we do a series of very fast spins. It's going to flatten it out. Flattens it out to the inverted. This is definitely not one to try with your average trainer. You see the torque rolls, using the engine torque to come down the flight line. Huge control surfaces on this model, hugely powerful servos. Built very strong but very light construction. Settle himself down after the blender. Now into, you've heard of the loop. This is the octagon loop. Watch it turn. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the octagon loop performed here today by Steve Carr. And now using the rudder to complete a knife edge loop. An incredibly difficult maneuver, of course. No lift being generated by the wings, and the rudder being used effectively as the elevator. Huge, powerful rudder, flick after the knife edge loop. A series of flicks down the flight line.
Yeah.
Can fly slowly, which is very unusual. Most of the display enough time at low speed. Holding that formation beautifully. The VC-10. It's going to deploy its refueling nozzles and then wind them back up, we hope. Knowledgeable about all of the modelling activities which they support. Vertical scheme, sorry.
Yeah, push down as you go.
Oh! Just flamed out on one of the turbines, but they'll get it fired up again. So there's huge aileron deflections, losing the torque of the engine, smoke on. Now it's only his takeoff. So now knife edge. Back into normal flight. Spooling up. Still holding it slowly. Big flap. Hanging down now. Flaps back up. Power on. Firing away after that pass. Learn it fast this time. Just because it can. So this is the art of the show flying.